Hey, everybody. Welcome to the third episode of the Collector Sector. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you are having a wonderful evening. I don't know where everybody is located, but it was beautiful here in Canada where I live. It was 25 degrees today. That's Celsius, of course, because I know some of us are watching from other places. But yeah, it was great. So we're going to have a good time tonight. It's going to be fun. It's going to be glorious. We're going to have just talks about fun shit. That's what we do here, right? That's what it's all about. I'm very excited to have our next guest to the show, of course, the Nerdy Manroom show. If you haven't followed them on Instagram, I implore that you do that, as well as YouTube. All their information is in the bottom of this video here. And of course, it shall be scrolling across the screen as you see some of it now. But without further ado, because I hate talking to myself all the time, without further ado, we'll bring on our guests. And of course, we'll see what they're all about. That's what we're all about here on this fun show. So let's get to it. Of course, everybody welcome our friends Hassel and Monster from the Nerdy Manroom show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you fellas are doing so awesome tonight. Yeah, how's it out there? I know you guys are all in the States. I know it's always warm in Georgia, so I'd imagine it's fairly warm today.
Actually, it started out at like I want to say 60 degrees, and then we got up to about 80. So yeah.
No, okay. I mean, I don't know anything about that. I'm Celsius over here, so I know it's whatever. But it sounds pretty warm to me.
Thinking about that at work today because the plant engineer, he is from Canada, so he was talking about what the adjustment it was for him to get to Fahrenheit.
No, it's good. It's good. I'm happy that everyone is starting to get the warm weather and out of that grayish season that we all just had. Right? So welcome to the show. Right? And how about you, Monster? Good where you're at today? I know you're always traveling. I could see that.
Yeah, in Missouri this weekend. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's probably 72, 73 out right now. It's actually pretty nice, which I don't know, was that maybe 20, 21, something like that for you guys?
Yeah. Roughly, that's what it was. 25 today, I think, got up to here, which wasn't too bad for April, right? Usually I said don't pack in the winter stuff because there's usually one more snowfall that hits us when we're all like not expecting it. So good old Canada for you. But yeah, no, great times, great times. Of course, aside from the weather, what we do on Instagram and YouTube is always talk about toys and different avenues. Like I know you guys are into collecting. Monster, I see G.I. Joe quite often on your page. Hassel, you're doing reviews. I seen that Raphael, TMNT, Super 7, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, like you guys collect a lot of stuff too. Tell us like a little bit about the Nerdy Manroom show, what you guys bring to the table, what you're all about, what things you like. Like just tell us about you.
I'm gonna let you kick this off.
Oh, so you trying to put me on the spot? Okay, I see how this goes. It's the whole idea of the Nerdy Manroom show is we were always having these conversations through text or phone call about all the stuff we're interested in that we grew up with, whether it's comics, toys, wrestling, Hassel more so than me for horror movies and stuff. But we were always having these conversations. We're like, well, why don't we just get on there and actually talk about it on if anybody watches this, that's great. If not, that's fine. We'll at least get it out of our system. And that's kind of where it went from there. But honestly, most of our conversation is usually about anything that you could think of that falls under the realm of nerddom, I guess. I know a lot of our stuff centers on wrestling or, like I said, horror or comics or toys. And yes, we are huge collectors. Hassel has certain ones he's into more than I am. I'm more into the comic book scene and the G.I. Joes and a few others. And unfortunately, I'm traveling, so for work, like you said, so I don't have any of my stuff here to share or show. So, I've got my world dominating scene in the background, but that's kind of all I've got going on right now.
What Cobra allowed him to say he is this week.
Yeah, see, that's the running joke because every time I travel now, he's got to tell everybody that I'm going somewhere for Cobra. So,
I mean, it's a good
tagline.
It's a great story, right? Like we don't know where he is. He's out secret operations, right? So that's okay.
He has this mirrored hood somewhere. I'm telling you, he has it. I know.
All I gotta do is lean forward, and it's gonna blind you anyway. So.
Oh, I was waiting for a glare joke at least once today during this episode. I was waiting for it, but I didn't think that you were gonna pull it on yourself. Good one. I love it.
Yeah, I have no shame.
Yeah, no, I love that. I've actually just got I don't know if you guys saw recently, I did like a reel. I got like a ton of G.I. Joes and I actually wasn't really collecting them. right? So now I have about 30, so I can't wait to open them. They're pretty cool, actually. So I can understand why you would like GI Joes. Like they were cooler in the 80s and stuff. Like I like that stuff still to this day. I prefer that stuff, but yeah, no, I understand why. And then like Hassel with the horror is all over the place. I see wrestling a lot. Like your screen's pretty small for you, right?
Yeah, it's I'm all over the place. It's horror, comics, adventure, whatever you got this week. I'm a little bit into everything. I do sports and just everything under the sun. So.
No, I get that. That's like me too. I'm all over the place. There's not just, you can't just have one. Right. So you can't just have one thing to love, not in this day. Right. So,
I have too much love to share. So it goes into many, many areas. I wish I could single it down and just focus on certain things, but I can't. It's everything under the sun over here.
So do you guys have any of your stuff from when you guys were younger? I know you guys have a couple years on me, just a couple. Just a couple, wee bit, but I have maybe one or two things, and they're like they're old and shitty, and like they shouldn't even be there. But I'm like, I can't part with them because they mean something to me. Do you guys have any of those in your collections presently?
I have a handful that my grandmother didn't give away because she went through this kick when I was about 15 or 16. I come home one day and like all my great like Joes, my He-Man, Transformers, everything was gone. And I'm like, "Ooh, where's my shit?" And I said, "Mamie, where's my stuff at?" And she said, "Oh, I give that stuff to your cousins. You're too old to play." I said, "Ooh, we don't play with it. We collect those."
She played the wrong game.
So I have a handful of things that survived the Holocaust of the purging of my cousins. And one of them, ironically, he's a collector now. And he told me today, he said, "Man," he said, "we fucked up so much expensive toys. I really wish we hadn't done that." I said, "You were 6. You didn't know."
No, it's crazy. What about you, Monster? Do you?
Yeah, I've some of them I bought later in life to recollect them because I missed or lost a few of them, but I have almost all of the Kenner Superpowers line. I have a huge amount of Transformers still. Actually, my Transformers dwindled from my son taking them when he was younger, and he had a lot of medical stuff when he was in his early first 3 to 4 years. So he was in the same stuff. So I was like, all right, you can have these. And mostly my Kenner Superpowers is probably the biggest one. I still have a lot of GI Joes as well.
Yeah, they're cool. I must say, I still appreciate that stuff way better. I know everyone's like quality. I'm like, it was so simple. I didn't have to worry about it. It was gonna break anyways. I knew it was shitty. It was gonna break, right? Like eventually, those little string legs. I don't even know what they would call it back then. I remember like those like string. They had the elastic band thingies, right? And, like things. I don't even know what you would call that. An elastic joint.
It was not any better when I went through my phase when I was probably about 11 or 12. And I figured out, hey, you can take these son of bitches apart and like reconstruct them. So I took like certain arms and legs off, and I had these cannibal corpse. It was just, oh man, it was something else.
No, it's I miss that stuff, right? Like I can't do that with any of the stuff now. Everything's just pop and lock now, though. So just some comments from some people stopping in. Look, we have some Southern Coastal Georgia. How about that? Georgia in the house. Woo! Of course, Raven Eye Studio was on with our last guest, actually. Super nice guy, Donald. Amazing. Follow him as well if you haven't already. Lots of people come in just to say, hey, whatnot. I guess WrestleMania was great. I didn't watch it. Sorry, guys. I have not watched wrestling since Randy Savage, like Andre the Giant, all those guys back in the day, 90s wrestlers. So, Brett.
You
lost them all when you pulled out that Bret Hart, though.
Whoa,
no,
sir.
I got more. You want more?
No, stop encouraging Hassel.
I already showed him private.
And the best ever will be, just saying.
He's cool. No, I already know that, right? One of the things is like I'm Canadian. I noticed that right away that you have quite the love for Bret Hart, right? And no judgments at all. He is a Canadian treasure in my eyes. No hands down. So right, no hands about it or whatever, right? So
there could be worse.
There could be much worse, right? So you could like worse things. Barbies. Right? Barbies are pretty bad.
Or Shawn Michaels like he likes. So
Yeah.
We won't even start. Okay. I don't fall, but I have a bunch of like LJNs in the living room with my son's like wrestling pops and stuff. And it's a line I want to jump into more wrestling figures. So like when I see people like post them, I'm like, yeah, like what? But there's so much, right? That's the problem. There is so many wrestling figures. I don't even know where I would start.
Stick with the Hasbro. That's the era that you were kind of watching, and stick with the Hasbro.
But man, they are so expensive to collect now. Like they have
not to get the loose. Don't try to get carded ones, because I paid, I want to say $300 for a Spanish carded Ultimate Warrior 3. But you can get the loose figures pretty damn cheap, anywhere from about $10 to $20.
Yeah. There's like a shop just down the road, which I'm kind of like mad that they opened up, because moving in on my business area here, but whatever. But they sell a lot of like the loose, LJ, like the older stuff, but they need a little bit of work, but it's like $5. So I'm thinking about like grabbing a few, painting them up, seeing if I can try to customize them or make them kind of neat. Cause I like the figures. Like I like them.
There's actually someone on YouTube I've seen as of late, they popped up in my feed, and that's what they do is just repaint old LGN wrestling figures. And it looks pretty damn simple, actually.
Yeah, no, so I might give it a try. I mean, if it's something that's not going to fit in my collection, there's always someone else to hand it down to, right? So, and I'm sure they'll love it just as much, right? So,
and I'm sure paint stays better on them, because I know a few times when we tried to customize like Hasbro figures and stuff, the amount of movement and articulation, paint is just going to chip off no matter what you do.
Oh, for sure. No, you're right.
Even the factory paint doesn't stay, so.
No, that's true. There's quite a few even figures, and I'm like, what? Why did we even bother painting some of this? So no, I totally understand that, but that's cool. I wish I followed wrestling a lot better now, just because there's thousands of these figures. I don't even know where to start. I always am on the hunt for Macho Man, because I love Macho Man. He's the cream of the crop. Like Hulk Hogan, right, is always another one. Like I don't know, it's all NWO crap. Who else did I always collect? I always collected Andre the Giant. We have the Animal out there, LJN figure. There's oh god, there's so many. But yeah, I don't know where to start, right? So, but Hasbro. I'll look into that for like newer stuff, as you're saying, but not card it. Don't go card it.
Well, they're late '80s into the early '90s. So I wouldn't say new, but which I would give credit. I would give credit to Mattel. See, I've always respected Andre and loved him as a talent when I was a kid. He's never got a really good figure. I had the Hasbro. No. It was so. But Mattel has done a great job with their last few Andres. They just put one out where he's got the big title belt and Hulk Hogan's gold necklace where he ripped it off on the main event. I bought that. That looks really, really good. And their ultimate one that's coming out soon looks really great too.
I'll have to look at them for sure. It's been tough. Like I just did a whole rearrange, and I got rid of like some Ninja Turtle stuff and replaced it with Motu. So Master of the Universe went out there instead, and the wrestling. And yeah, I just need to film more wrestling. So good for you guys. Keep pumping out the wrestling figure so I can see what you have. If not, I'll just live vicariously through you guys. Yeah, you're one of the main people I see with the wrestling stuff. There's a few other here and there on Instagram, so I'm always like, cool, man, cool. So
well, since you brought up the Motu, and I know you like those a lot from conversation we've had, Shiny Plastic people mentioned in the comments that Mattel did a great job with their combination of the superstars where they're in the Masters of the Universe style, and they're kind of replacing characters from Motu. It was actually pretty cool looking. I liked a lot of those. I didn't pick up any, but they look really neat.
Yeah, I grabbed a few. I have the Stephanie Lynn, the Kane, I guess it's Goldberg, and the Macho Man from that. But I didn't really see it. I didn't like the other ones, right? So no, they make great ones with those. You're talking about like the ones that came out a couple years ago, correct? Yeah, like Shawn Michaels.
Ended now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've stopped following. I actually haven't really been too big on Motu lately because it's all the same stuff here in Canada. It's been sitting on the shelves for a year. So it's just kind of like, right? Like it's not fun to even look at this point, right? So I get some new stuff out here and then I'll worry about it. But no, I love that one.
It's very far behind. So we're just starting to get some of the things that, we see online. I get pissed off when I look at some of the pages on Facebook. It's like, why do y'all? They have an abundance of various things that's collectible, and it's like 3 months later, we may see it. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been following it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Right? Like, I'm not straight up. No, I'm right. Like I've been into other things, right? So Motu and stuff. And what's this? There was a Masters of the WWE universe.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, it's not, but it's the same book.
Yeah,
That's what I was talking about. WWE, right? So, what is the other one called? It's but the WWE Superstars had Shawn Michaels in it, correct?
Yeah,
there was a Shawn Michaels
so.
one. I think I posted it recently. Yeah. Okay, I'm just confusing the two lines.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah,
I think that they're talking about the ones that are just
like Stephanie
WWE
Lynn
style,
and all of them.
They're that same style of.
Gotcha.
The only one I wanted to get was the Bret Hart, and I never actually saw him anywhere around here, so I didn't want to pay proper prices off of eBay. So
it's crazy. Like I see you guys get some stuff like crazy early, and then I'll post them, and people are like, I didn't even know that was out yet, and I'm like, well, it's in my hand, so obviously it's got to be out somewhere, right? No, I didn't see any of that stuff out here. I just saw the ones I picked up, and that was basically it.
Right. And I make my way to Canada occasionally for work and stuff, and I know same area near where you're at, but I find some stuff there that I'm like, hey, I haven't seen that anywhere, and some stuff's like, well, how is this still on the shelf? This was on clearance in the States like 6 months ago.
That's what I'm saying. That's why sometimes I wait for these toy hauls, because I'm like, I'm going to get 45 figures for the same price as 3 right now because nobody wants to buy them. And I'm just like, whatever, right? So, no, it's crazy. It's even the comparison. You guys have so much stuff out there. I can't believe, like, I can't even access some of the stuff you guys get. And it makes me so jealous because I don't know. I can't pre-order things. There's no Targets. There's nothing. But I mean, in Georgia, I'm sure that you have to travel to find this stuff. Are you traveling? Are you ordering online? How are you getting all these toys, dude?
95% of what I get is pre-order off Big Bad Toy Store. The other 5% is what Monster finds for me here or there. He'll send me stuff. Hey, dude, I found this. Hey, I found this. And he is wonderful enough to use the Cobra account to ship it to me. So I get pretty blessed in that right there. Occasionally I will stumble upon something, in a Walmart or the neighboring town, but to go to anywhere, like the nearest Target to where I am is about an hour and a half. So, and it's a pretty shitty one. So,
yeah. No, I hear a lot in the States that a lot of people, I guess we'll call them rural parts. Sorry, that's my Canadian accent trying to come out there. The rural parts of places, that a lot of their drives are like an hour and a half. I'm like, at that point, I would just say, forget it, and just like, you know what I mean? So good for you if you're doing that trek. Good for you. But I bet you it's beautiful drives regardless. So there's probably some pros and cons to it, of course.
Not really.
Forget
Not
it.
Really. No. Well, we're in like South Georgia, so it's like really nothing.
No, I don't know anything about Georgia. I've never been. I just assume it's warm and I can get peaches there. Huh?
You can do that. It is very hot. If you're in the coastal areas, it's nice looking, but North Georgia is nice pretty much all year round.
Gotcha. Now, Hassel, I guess Monster, since you've been traveling a lot, do you pick up a lot on your travels, or are you the same, like you're going out picking up yourself, or are you pre-ordering?
I will pre-order most everything I want, honestly, just because I am traveling. I'm never sure if I'm going to catch it somewhere or be at home, but then I will end up canceling about probably 30% of the pre-orders because I walk into a store and like, hey, they have it here.
Of course.
So then I pick it up there in person because the retail chain stores get it before any of the fan channel stores like a Big Bad stuff because of the deals that they have they have to meet their quota for the retail stores for shipments from the factory and all. So you will see them there a lot of times first. Now, a lot of times I'll pick them up there, but then like every now and then, like this week, I got my the latest wave of G.I. Joe Classified actually arrived at my house, and the first time I saw them in the store was yesterday, and I was like, oh, I've already got them at home because they showed up 2 days ago at the house. So it's chance either way, yeah. But if I find it in the store, I pick it up. But if it's something that I couldn't decide if I wanted it that bad, then I will not pre-order it. I'll wait till I see it in person and then decide if I want it.
Yeah, that's basically like me. When I started the Funko game many years ago, I did a lot of pre-orders through like Pop in the Box. If I remember, that's what it's called, Pop in the Box. It's something now, or $7 a pop or Funko Pop place, right? The same thing. Like I pre-order it, and then I'd walk into a store, and there it is. So it's one thing that I said I would not really order stuff online, but now recently I've started. So now, but I've been smart. I'm not doing like one piece at a time. Like when you ship me that one piece and it costs you that, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that for one figure anymore.
Yeah.
I'm getting like 40 in a box, right? So I'm like, make it count, right? So no, I couldn't imagine doing pre-orders as much as people do, and then just walking in all the time, be like, oh, there they are, right? But then also the plus side is sometimes it gets there before the rest of it. So, but I am very like anxious about stuff. I'm like, I want it now, and I want it now, right? So, and now there's no anything else, right? So, oh, good for you guys.
Well, don't forget about Big Bad Toy Store. They will hold it in a loot, and you can decide how much or whatever to ship at a time, which is great for me.
Is that true?
Ship it all at one time.
Never ordered from them. I've ordered from Entertainment Earth, and I've ordered from, can't remember what else it is. It was when I first started collecting, but it was just one of those things that took forever. And I was like, I didn't want to wait. Right?
Did you have the same problem I had with Entertainment Earth? Because like literally, it took like over a week just to process the order.
Right. So, no, it's crazy, right? And then the whole like Canada thing, I'm like, it should just cost the same, right? Like maybe $5 more. Like I know when I go to ship things, it's a little bit different than like how are these companies? You know what I mean? Like, but you got to make a buck somehow, right? So like, like they're able to do it, but. No, that's cool. Any plans or excitement for any new figs coming up? I know like NEC has been dropping stuff. Like the Batman utility belt. I'm actually kind of like interested to see what it actually looks like. I kind of want to get it.
I'm a big Batman 89er myself, so I was super excited to see the Batman belt.
Utility belt. Yeah, the bundle, right?
Well, it's got all the little cool things that come out of the capsules, and then like the little pocket thing that comes off, and all the accessories snap to it and whatnot. And then McFarlane Toys, they put out the Batmobile and the '89 Batman for the Flashpoint movie. So I'm just like, I'm like 9 years old again.
I just want the belt. I'll walk around. I'll go to work with it on. I'll never take it off. I'll go to the gym with it on. I'm just gonna be like, I am fucking Batman, right? Like I'll do it. I have a Batman mask and everything. I'm down, right? So that went out last night. That went live last night, I think. So chances of us getting them are probably slim at this point. Yeah, I think it was last night they went on pre-order. Yeah, so I think it was. I can't remember. I briefly looked at it, but it is cool. Like I don't know if everybody who's watching. I'm gonna pull up the screen because I have to show this thing. It's like the best thing ever. Especially like I'm Batman 89 too. I think Michael Keaton is like the king of Batman still to this day. So that's just me. So I don't know. This amazing. I want it so bad. Look at this thing, guys. Like it's just like, come on, right? It's not so sick. It's
badass.
Like I would wear that everywhere. I live in a city that is notorious for like drugs and like drug usage because it's just a metropolis city that I live in, right? Like it just happened. So this would be amazing. Like no one would ever question me. They just think I'm on drugs, which I'm okay with. Right? I'm really Batman, but they'll think I'm on drugs. I love this stuff. That's what I'm excited for. What about you, Monster? Have you seen anything new that you're fancying, I guess?
I've tried to pull back some this year because it's gotten to the point where the cost of all of it is just so much now, and they keep raising the prices. So I've kind of tried to hone in a little bit, and I've kind of gotten out of the superhero ones as much just because there's so many of the same characters constantly made. And I'm like, all right, let me do something different. The G.I. Joe classified line I've really been into. I do a lot of the Power Rangers Lightning collection. I think I have everything they've released for it. And the role play stuff they've done for that, like the power weapons and the helmets and stuff, have been really neat. So I will say, as far as like that belt there, I haven't seen it, but I've looked at a lot of the NECA batarangs they've made. And those are really neat, but they feel so light that I'm worried sometimes, like, am I going to break this thing if I mess with it too much? But yeah, as far as what I'm excited for, it really just seeing the continuation of the GI Joes, honestly, because they've done a very good job of that line. So this last wave, the head sculpts are a little off, but beyond that, it's been really good. And I've had a lot of fun just posing those and setting them up and kind of building displays with them.
Yeah, no, they've been fun. Like next to my Action Force Valaverse too. So I actually have them on the same shelf. Because I'm like, why not military, code, yada yada yada. But like at first, I thought the Valaverse was way better than the figures that I had. But I'm like, it's too hard to like compare now. But I do like what they come with, right? Whereas the Valaverse is just the standard weapons. This like there was the dog Timber, or the dog, the wolf. Look how dumb I am. Like how dumb I'm being. The wolf Timber, right? All that. Like I like that. You get a little bit extra with them, where it's just weapons, right? Now I do want to get. I can't remember who is it, and he looks like a pimp. Is it Destructo? Destro? I can't remember. Destro, yeah. But he's dressed like a pimp or something like that. Like have you seen that figure?
Destro. Yes.
Like,
it is, that was his late season ones.
Yeah, like I didn't watch a lot of yeah. I saw that, and that's where I started like, oh, I want to get more GI Joes. I didn't buy that one because I thought it was like, this guy's too pimp for me, like way too pimp for me.
That's literally what his nickname was when he came out back in the day. It was Pimp Daddy Destro,
right?
And then it's just become a running thing, and they've like every so often they've like redone him, but that was his original moniker.
I love that stuff though. I'm still learning. Like these were things I was into when I was younger, but then time goes by. Like I was the tomboy. My brother played with the Barbies. Like it was weird. We did the switcheroo there, which is, if you're into that stuff, that's cool. No judgments, do your thing. We appreciate y'all here, right? But
I was committed to role play, so hey,
right? Like let's go, right? No, but I love GI Joe. It's even just setting it up for photos. I haven't been doing a lot of toy photography, but I'm just like, it just reminds you of the stuff when I was younger with like the army military stuff. Like I just love that crap. It's all crap that we shouldn't have. We're all going to lose it soon anyways. Right? Yeah.
I will say the thing I've been most excited for though, and I just got it after I left home for this trip, is the Uncanny X-Men 3-packs they were doing in the team uniforms, and they have a Banshee in there, and I've been asking for a new Banshee.
Oh, really?
How they've been making Marvel Legends, because that is one of my top tier characters, and I am so excited to get that one in hand when I get home.
Yeah.
Where did you get that at, Monster 2? I meant to ask you about that. Where did you actually stumble upon that? Because Big Bad has yet to have them.
Hasbro Pulse.
But how often is it the opposite way around, though?
Probably 95% or more times. Hasbro is the latest ones. But actually, I just got shipping notification today for the Cobra Kai Power Ranger crossover figures. Target still doesn't have them yet. Target almost always beats Hasbro to the market with them because they send them to them first. But Hasbro shipped them this week.
So I don't think I've seen the Power. Did you say it was Power Rangers Cobra Kai crossover? Yeah. I don't think I've seen them, but it's funny that you just said that because I'm doing like a collectible sale for my family, and I just pulled out like loose figures, and I just found the bloodied up Cobra Kai Johnny figure that I had, or Daniel. It was Daniel actually that I did for a photo, and I'm just like, oh god, I can't believe. I don't understand why they make these. Maybe it's different out in the States, but in Canada, those crossovers do not sell. So I don't understand where they get their logic behind them.
So it's funny because it depends in states. Like some of them will sell, some of them won't. Like I've seen the Street Fighter and Cobra Kai Ninja Turtle crossovers they've done. Mm-hmm. I've seen the same one sitting on the shelves forever. Yep. But then you get to some of these others and they fly off the shelves.
I think what it is like a lot of, and I know with that Ninja Turtle crossover with the Cobra Kai specifically, is they reuse figures obviously for the Ninja Turtles that they're already using. So we're just getting duplicates of what we already had, right? But I mean, it was cool to have the Cobra Kai guys. Right?
The only one I really went in for was I did go in for the Green Ranger Shredder. That was kind of a really cool concept to me. I like that, but typically I don't do the crossovers because, like you said, it's a repainting of a figure with minor retooling and a different art deco on the box, and they say, "Hey, we got your stuff."
Yeah, I don't even think I saw them here. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't think they were as popular that here, at least, that people thought. Because the same with, like I said, the Cobra Kai, Toys R Us had tons on clearance at one point. They probably just like, well, we're not going to go head deep into this one again, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Toys R Us has kind of been weird here, where it's sometimes you walk in, it's full of great NECAs, and then the next time it's full of all that stuff that's been sitting there on clearance for a year, right? So, y'all aren't missing much at Toys R Us. I know y'all are missing it, but you aren't missing much.
We are. Yes, we are. Just the presentation and the go into a toy store.
Mm-hmm. That yeah, that's it. I only take because my son wants to go. He's like, Toys R Us. I'm like, okay. I already know there's not going to be anything there that we want, right? But I'm like, let's just go, right? It's expensive here. It's not like what we were used to when we were younger.
No, and even the exchange rate, your stuff is more expensive than the Toys R Us. Because I know when I bought some stuff there, like the GI Joes, there classifieds are like, if you exchange them to the U.S. exchange rate, they're like $30. I'm like, man, it's like 20.
Oh yeah.
So I think the last time I did was like $33.99. I was like, man, it's like $24.99 in the States at that time. But now, I mean, they're up to 24, 26, but whatever.
Yeah.
It still seems much higher.
Yeah, they are. And the thing here too is, even a couple weeks ago, I went into Toys R Us, and guess what's starting to go on clearance? GI Joes here, because again, they're just crazy expensive and no one wants to buy them. And so that's where I'm like, pounce like a cat. Just wait, right? Like two for one, I'm down. Right?
They're not on sale because I just got hit with 3 of them last week. So.
Right? Like that's what you do, right? So, yeah. I am excited for more GI Joes. I can't wait. But I'm also Mythic Legions. I've been getting into a little bit more. Do you guys have any of those? Have you guys had any ideas you want to get any of those cool figures? Those are pretty popular nowadays. Have you seen them?
I have almost bought into a couple of them, especially some of the ones that are a playoff of other characters, right? That they from other franchises, and I've come very close, and then I've backed out a couple of times, and I just haven't bought any yet because I'm afraid if I open that one more door for another rabbit hole, I'm going to be completely broke. World domination doesn't pay the same anymore.
I know. I often consider if I need a second job. Right?
Exactly.
There's a pimp daddy. That's why.
Profit director, sir.
Oh goodness.
It's my split hair here.
No, I'm we got some comments here about the WWE. We have some WWE Turtles Raphael as Sting. Oh yeah, I remember those Ninja Turtles. I actually have the Macho Man Ninja Turtle for that set. That was Playmates, I believe. He had it signed by Sting. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. That's pretty neat. Got Outback white shirts at Toys R Us yesterday too. I don't know, Outback. I know Outback is a restaurant.
It's a GI Joe classified. They released the Tiger Force version with an orange T-shirt and Tiger head first, and now the original version of him was a white T-shirt, and that just came. It says "Survive" on it because he was a survival expert.
Gotcha.
That one just arrived at my house this week, so I'm looking forward to opening him.
That's why some of these comments, the way they come in, throw me off because I'm like, what are you talking about? And it was something like 5 minutes ago. I'm like, wait, what? But thank you so much, Midnighters. Thank you, everybody. I just wanted a quick shout out to everybody in and out. I appreciate y'all for being here, y'all. Sadly, my screen, one of my computers got broken. I don't know how, maybe the midget that lives here. Brand new computer, by the way. Fun. Yeah, so usually I can see who's on. So I would call you out and give you your praise, but thank you guys for being here. You're all appreciated here at the collector sector. Fellas, now you have a lot of shit going on that's new. Hassel, I've seen some new reviews. We have our Hassel's review happening now. Are you basing that mostly on movies? Are you doing figures? Are you mixing it up? I'm going to share some stuff here on the screen.
It's a big, it started out movie only. It was going to be movie only. And then I just kind of branched into movies, video games, toys, just whatever struck my fancy each week. Monster and I, we did the Nerdy Manroom show, and, unfortunately, due to, travel issues, sometimes we can't always be as weekly as we want to be. Nope. So it kind of began out of that. And then after I'd done an episode or two, I kind of got to liking doing that. So, and we've become, we've got far better at, becoming more current like we should and doing our weekly. So it's just now I basically do 2 shows a week now.
It's tough too, eh? Like I know I had to take a couple weeks off for other reasons, obviously, but do you, I guess, obviously working, like, do you set times like every week, or do you just like do it whenever you want? Like, are you on the fly?
Well, typically, like, Monster and I record, the Nerdy Manroom show on Thursday nights. I'm sorry, and so I try to do this one on Saturday, typically on Saturday mornings,
Okay.
if kind of permitting. I try to knock it on out on Saturday morning and get it uploaded and everything. But if not, it typically winds up being a one day after work. I go ahead and because now I get off a little earlier than I did, and I'm back home. I'm not having to commute to work any longer. So now I have time of the evenings to where I can kind of, get it out and do a little more during the week.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, like, Monster, you travel, so you aren't doing it as often, of course. I don't do it as often. I wanted to commit to it as, like, obviously we all want to, right? Like, we do stuff for the most part. We try to commit, being the operative word here, right? Conflicts happen. But no, kudos to you. Because I know, like, you guys even, like, kicked your, I think forgive me, because we don't have this in Canada. Is it called Roku? Roku?
Yeah. Roku.
Did I say that right? Oh my God. Is it called Roku? Like, you guys are even starting to bring that up. Right? Is that Roku? Southern Joy? Is that the name? Is that the channel name?
That's the channel name. Yeah. Roku is just a streaming platform, kind of like Amazon Fire or whatever.
Okay. We don't have it here in Canada. That's why I'm always like, I think I'm saying it right.
It's so hard for me to watch TV when I go up there for a week.
Okay. So you guys are now... Oh, because all that, and that would suck for me visiting the States too. I don't know any channels. I'm like, where's Fox? Because I know the Simpsons are on that. Right? So you guys now have your show on the Southern Joy channel on Roku. Is that right?
Yes,
now it's the Nerdy Manroom show still, correct? It's still under the same name? Perfect.
Yes, so we got Nerdy Manroom show and Hassel's Review featuring Big Rob's House of Entertainment and No Chinese Food.
Big Rob, I was watching you guys. Yeah, I was watching you guys the video with him the other day, and like that's where I saw Monster about their gender reveal. We won't go into it, and I just started laughing. So I'm like, I know what you're saying, man. I know what you're saying. I understand this. Yeah, no. He seems like a fun guy too. So you guys have him. He is your what did I see the words that you guys call extended part of the Nerdy Manroom show family, right? So
yeah, when we first actually started talking about doing the show at all, we had a couple other friends as well, Big Rob, and then another one of ours that we call Mr. Mittens when he comes on with us, which is very rare, but it was harder for them to commit to a timetable, and even for me it's hard to do. Like when I committed to it, it's like, all right, every other week, because with my schedule sometimes every week is very hard, but Rob travels for work as well, so it was just too hard to get him on all the time, and he works night shifts a lot of time when he travels as well, and we're recording at night because we both work day shifts, so it became a hey, let's when you can come on you can. And then he started doing his own thing on the weekends when he would travel in between traveling for work or if he was at home, and then we just kind of started cutting them together, and I think he and Hassel are putting their reviews on there together now on the Roku channel as well.
I thought the first one just loaded with both Hassel Review featuring Big Rob's House of Entertainment. So that loaded yesterday, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I need to get a more consistent schedule. Like, it's tough, right? Like, we're all busy in life, right? One day I'll get there, right? But thank you guys for coming on anyways to join in on the fun. Guys, if you haven't, everyone watching Instagram, across the ticker, go ahead and follow our friends on Instagram. Of course, they are also on the YouTube under the same name. Go ahead and give them a sub, show them some love. Because if I remember correctly, there might still be, are you still doing the giveaway for your subscribers on YouTube?
A massive giveaway. And we're very close to it. Last time I looked, we were at 205 Monster, I want to say.
I earlier, to me, it was around 200. Yeah.
I'm on your screen now. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, you'll have to, because I never look at it.
No, I just have it for viewership purposes and for screens. You are at 203 subscribers now. So,
two people said the hell with us.
Yeah, it was me. I left. I'm out of here.
They met us.
Yeah. So
that could be it.
We'll get you more. Don't worry. We'll work on that. So if I remember correctly, it was a very cool mask that we're giving away that was signed. So I'm going to pop that up on the screen. And why don't you tell us about your giveaway, what you have going on here? Yeah, let's get some people over to your page. And why are we going over here? So we have Michael Myers. Who doesn't like Michael Myers?
It's actually signed by Tom Morga, who played Michael Myers in in Part 4, Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers. He is also the only Michael Myers to play Jason. He played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 5, which is actually the Roy Jason. And even though he is the imposter Jason, it's one of the better Friday movies. So he is the only actor to play both Michael and Jason. And it's signed by him. And when we get to, he was actually donated to us by Mr. Whitley Alexander. He's over in Iraq right now, serving our country. God bless you. Thank you, buddy. And he dedicated this. He wanted to help us do something, to spread the show and give a big gesture once we hit 250 subscribers.
No, that's great. And like you just answered the question, because I was always curious, because obviously I've been following you guys for a while and like spoken to you for a while. And I was like, ooh, I wonder if they got that signed or did you have it gifted? So no, that's a cool gift, and God bless your friend for doing that, of course, and for, going over there and fighting for everybody. Of course, all of our troops are heroes for all of us, regardless of where we are in the world, and thank you. So, no, that's so amazing. So, guys, you should probably head on over to see them. And of course, this is just some more ads that Hassel was so kind to send over to me with some more information with the Nerdy Manroom show. Of course, Hassel's information there as well. Hassel's review, we've seen this, but yeah, I'm very stoked to see who wins that mask. Now, is that open internationally across Canada and the United States? Is it a states only giveaway? How are you running it so that my viewers that might be interested might be able to?
What we're going to do is we're going to use one of those generator things that takes all the subscribers and it kind of does the random thing.
So yes, to answer your question, it is open to anyone. So wherever you're at, we will find a way to get it to you. It may just be harder for us, and it may take a little more time because I know shipping internationally is not always the easiest, but we will figure out how to get it to you.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, I'm not going to put if I win, I donate to someone else. Just to let you know, if my name gets generated, just pass it along. I'm good. I have 2 masks here. I don't need any more. My son runs around with them on. Sometimes I'm like, what the hell are you doing? We don't need one to get wrecked, right? Yeah, but if it happens somehow, just skip over me and donate to the next. So it looks like we're going to have a few more subs. Right?
Well, prestige worldwide, boats and hose.
Yeah. We have some people kicking over to go and hopefully subscribe to the channel. Of course, they're excited to see your cool old Mikey mask. Look at that. Good thing to have up there. Anything exciting coming up for the channel that you want to plug, or anything that you guys want to plug in there today? Obviously, we've seen Hassel's got some reviews going on. I know he just posted the Raphael TMNT Super 7 because I watched that, right? Any other figs that we're looking at coming up, or movie reviews that you have off the top of your head, or you guys are all branching out to do with other creators, or I guess we'll call them podcasters. Is that what we call them? Right? Yeah.
Well, we definitely got to have Mr. Wes Hartman back on again because unfortunately we had some audio technical difficulties when he was on. So we're looking to have him back on pretty soon to just discuss comics and some more things of this nature. As far as the review goes, Monster has sent me a care package yesterday. So I want to probably bust open a figure this weekend and discuss it. I'm not sure which at the moment. But and then Monster, tell them what we got going for the Man Room this week.
I think this week we're going to try and get to maybe discussing some Power Rangers topics. Their 30th anniversary special is actually premieres on Netflix on the 19th. So we were trying to time into that some. And then in the future, we're hoping to get to some more cons and stuff. I got to a couple last year, but with COVID shutting most of those down, we didn't get to a lot of them and haven't gotten back to a regular schedule. But hopefully next year, getting back to some more of those. We've had some, at least on my end, I can speak more for me than I can for Hassel. He did just recently have a wedding, and he has a life now at home, so he has to obey the orders. And I'm
we're going to Days of Dead, and because it was like the week before. So
yeah, and I'm not too far behind. I've got other family stuff coming up and all, and it's just this year has been harder, and I haven't made it to any cons. So hopefully we can make it to some next year. But that's one of the nice things about being where I live at in Ohio is we have a lot of folks come through for cons or for different shows or at different toy stores and comic stores and stuff, and getting a chance to try and branch out and actually do some more in person, just quick blurbs with folks.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you guys are gonna have a lot going. That's why I wish I lived in the States, because you guys always have more stuff going on. Now, I'm gonna guess, Monster. I'm gonna guess what your favorite con was last year. I'm gonna take a wild guess because I'm just smart like that. This is probably one here. This was my favorite con. So everybody, I actually met one half of the Nerdy Manroom show last year. Right. So this is at the Hamilton Comic Con when I dressed up as Snow White. Of course, I got to meet Monster down there, and it was a blast. I sent him home with some stickers for everybody. Of course, everybody being Hassel and himself. But this was my favorite con last year for many reasons. Some reasons we'll leave out unspoken. I will leave those ones unspoken. We all know. But yeah, do you travel a lot? Like with your travels, do you hit up cons outside of the States a lot, or is it just you kind
not
of
really?
Well, no?
The only area I really go to outside the States regularly is to the Brantford, Hamilton,
Gotcha.
the
My
GTA,
area.
the Greater Toronto
My
area.
woods.
Yeah. So if I'm there and there's one going on, I try to hit it. But I mean, I've only made that once. And honestly, you had a 50-50 chance of guessing the right con because I only made it to 2 last year. It was that one. And then I went to PowerCon in Columbus, Ohio.
I already know that Hamilton was your favorite because the things that will leave unspoken were the best parts about it all.
Dude, that's the joke that keeps giving.
That's the joke that we all keep. Yeah, it is the joke that keeps going, but not growing, right? But not growing. But yeah, no, I had fun. Now, Hassel, do you have any cons? Like, I know it's harder, like Georgia, like, do you guys have a lot out there? You guys had something, like, you have a fan expo, but it's called something else out there, right? Do you guys ever go to that stuff?
well, we have actually Dragon Con will be coming up Labor Day. We're gonna try to hit that right there. And then I'm gonna try to get to Spooky Empire in October. So
Yeah.
September, October, I got a few things we're gonna try to hit. We don't get a lot of big cons here. I really hate I missed MegaCon in Orlando a few weeks ago. That's actually that's was a really good one that I've always enjoyed going to in the past. Like I said, we just had a lot going on recently, so
Yeah,
it looks to be around the September area. We're gonna try to hit some things in.
Well, there was a time though that actually Dragon Con was in like the top 5 size-wise in the States, and now it doesn't even register in the top 10 anymore.
Oh, really? It's like off the radar now. Like, forget it. No,
Well, they try to get too big and spread it out too far. Like you had like some of it in one location, some of it in another location, and a lot. They did a walk in between. It was yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it. Like, I had a hard time even at Fan Expo here in Canada, and they have them in the same building, but it's 2 buildings, right? It's that whole little walkthrough, but still, it was just like crammed like sardines, and this was the time where masks were just coming off everyone's faces, so I'm like, everyone's breathing and licking each other at that point in time, right? Like, I don't want to do that ever again, right? Right. No, that's cool. I said 2024, I'm going to try to get to the States. I don't know which con I'm going to go to, but 2023 is moving too fast. So I was like, I'm not making it this summer summer, but I'm going to make it next year. And I'm going to let you guys know when, and maybe we can all one day have a group meetup at the con, right? So now, Hassel, does your wife go to cons with you, Hassel? Is she cool with that stuff? She's got to
She went to her very first con with me last year when we went to Days of the Dead in Atlanta. It was her. Well, we popped her con cherry, and it was an experience for her. She had never experienced anything like that, but she enjoyed it and she had a good time. Now I will say, we went Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By Sunday, she was a little burned out on it. So, but for Friday and Saturday, she had a great time.
But it's far better than your ex-wife, because the last time we went to Dragon Con together, she tried to burn your house down.
She did.
I mean, was this while you were gone, or because you guys all went?
No, I don't remember exactly what happened, but she set the kitchen on fire because we got called in the middle of the con. I was like, we got to leave.
They're like, just we out.
And it's like, I'm 4 hours away. What am I going to do?
Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Call
Yeah,
911.
Yeah, she called him first. That was the best part. Called us first. Like, what should I do?
That's what I always tell people. Like, call 911 first. Wait, like, well, whatever, to each their own. And we are not here to discuss that, right? So, no, that's cool, guys. I appreciate hearing all that. Guys, in the comments, everyone watching, thank you once again for, checking out. I know I've been kind of like shitty and not like calling you all out like I would, reminding you all I just got back here after a 2-week unnecessary, unneeded vacation. But yeah, you guys are amazing. And I know that both Monster and Hassel appreciate you guys being here too. So, of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channels. All three of us are here on the YouTubes, of course, on Instagram. Now, I guess, fellas, with that, we've talked about your show, all that stuff. Is there anything else you want to put out there for the audience to know before we say goodbye to one another?
Monster, it's all yours, baby.
There's nothing else to know about me. It's pretty open book. Pretty simple and easy. I did see a couple things in the comments. I didn't want. I saw some Empire Cloud talk about coming to Miami, Florida. Dude, I used to go down there for work too, and I miss going out there. I haven't been down there since before COVID, so I had to give him a shout out for that because that's a fun place, but it's an interesting place too.
Yeah, I actually heard that there was a fella that stopped in today at a restaurant that I was in, and they were talking about the States, and I was like, yeah, I was actually going to move down there, and like they're talking about like Florida and Miami and all this. So like, no, do it. I was like, you guys are really starting to like make me want to move to the States because it sounds so much better down there. Right? No. And you guys have all the shows. That's what I hate, because what do we have here? We have like Hamilton, the Hamilton Comic-Con, but Toronto, you got your Fan Expo, you got a couple here, but they're always crazy and you can't walk around. And like Hamilton Comic-Con was not bad at all when this year, like it was.
No, it was pretty nice.
Right. So I can only imagine the States cons are way bigger and way more packed. It seems like it.
A lot of them, maybe, possibly. I'm not sure, but I know that you guys in Toronto have a great Transformers, a TF Con every year, and that one's usually pretty big. And there's a lot more reveals that happen at that one than any of the TF Cons they have in the States.
Oh, really? Eh? Good to know. Yeah, I've never really. You're talking Transformers, yeah? TF, yeah. I just started collecting Transformers because my son's kind of into them, so like I remember who they are and their names, but I'm like, okay, this is an Autobot, and this is this guy. That's it. That's the Optimus Prime or something, right? I know the Bumblebee.
If my ex hadn't woken up when she did, my son's name would have been Optimus Prime.
No way.
We tried on that right there. We were pushing that one.
I only know because of this thing now. I love this thing. This was my first thing that started. Like I knew of them like when we were younger, but I never followed along with a lot of stuff until now, because now they're coming out with like the older retro looking figures and stuff, which is really cool. So no, yeah, I love that. That's cool to know that they drop a lot of those reveals here. I had no idea. Usually I find it the other way around. So
yeah, they have a couple of, they have 3 or 4 a year of the TF Cons, and some of them get a few reveals and stuff, but usually the one in Toronto is usually gets the most reveals from the third party makers, the fans, toys, the X-Trans bots, the ones who are not the official license holder but make a better product.
Yeah. Right. No, that's good to know. I'll keep an eye out for those. Now that we're getting more into Transformers, like it's something I need to kind of pay attention to, especially because I started looking at them prior to being in them. They're kind of expensive too out here. I don't know what the price range out there, but they go from like $40 here. I'm like, I'm not sure if that's normal or
depends on the size. I mean, they have multiple sizes and classifications. Your regular main line is like $26, but
so $40 in Canada. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, you start getting into your leader class and up, you're talking about 50, 60, 80, $150 for them.
Well, so by a masterpiece, then it's
no, unfortunately that's where I'm stuck at.
Yeah, there are some things I have just been saying no to, because it's the thing, like, there's one thing of being in debt, but then there's another thing being in debt because expense, we don't need it, right? So I've been not slowing down per se. I don't have time, right? Summertime, like people are busy. I don't have time to go hunting for toys. And like I said, here it's the same shit. So I go in the store next week, it's the same stuff. What did I waste the gas for? Right? And so to drive over there, right? But, fair point. And I live in Canada. It's a little bit more expensive here, people. Get gas just went up here. I'm sure it's going up in the States again.
Every
Positive
day.
right? So, well, fellas, I appreciate you guys for stopping by. I hope that everyone just goes and subscribes to their channel. Of course, Instagram. They're great, fellas. Even if just passing conversations. If you want to make fun of Monster, just do it to Hassel. Don't tell Monster. We do that in secret. Right? Don't tell him. Shh. Right? Give them a follow. Follow them on the YouTubes. Follow them on Instagram. Give them a hey. Love their stuff. They're generally good guys. They're here. They're saying hi. They're just like you and I, normal people that like to collect stuff and talk about things and maybe make some friends or enemies in the way. Frenemies? Who knows? The way that Monster is, sometimes I wonder if we're frenemies and not friends.
That's on your part because you said they're scary clowns.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't like clowns. I'm sorry. So yeah, don't send him clowns. Send him all the clowns, people.
Do not flood his inbox with clowns.
Send in the clowns. All right, fellas, I will kick you backstage. I'll say goodbye to you guys, but thank you so much for joining us. Everyone in the comments, thank you so much for joining us and supporting our friends. Again, if you haven't, go ahead, subscribe to their stuff. They'll appreciate it. Catch their shows, of course. Again, Wednesdays you record them. Do they go up on Wednesdays as well? You said Wednesdays, right?
I usually record on Thursdays and drop it on Friday, but sometimes the schedule may fluctuate. Like this week is Hassel's gonna kill me, but it's probably gonna be like Sunday at this point.
Okay.
I have to travel home Thursday night.
So they post irregularly. So just hit the bell button so that you're notified for every time that they post a new video on the YouTube.
That's probably better.
Does that work?
Yeah.
All right. All right, fellas. Thank you once again for joining us. I'll kick you off. I'll be back in a moment. You guys are amazing. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Okay.
Thank you.
No worries. All righty, Collector Sector family. Thank you so much for joining me on the return of the Collector Sector. I know it was a little bit scrambly. I'm still trying to get some bearings as to everything that's been happening here. But everyone that has reached out to join us or has joined us so far, you guys are immensely appreciated. Of course, I'm sure Monster's not going to appreciate the clown comments in the comments, but he's not here anymore, so let's not worry about him. Once again, guys, thank you so much. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you see all the videos that we're going to have, the lives. Of course, notified. Hit the bell. You're notified whenever we post a video. And of course, follow on Instagram. Both myself, the Nerdy Manroom show are there, and the Collector Sector is there as well. We are going to be working hard to get some new stuff out and kind of branch into a new direction this year. And of course, without your support and your love, it is not possible. So thank you so very much, guys. You guys have an amazing day. And of course, we'll see you all very, very soon. Actually, next week we'll see you. And I'm happy to announce that next week I will have someone that actually inspires me quite a bit. My friend Unworthy Collector is going to join us on the Collector Sector. And I'm super excited to have him because he's actually given me a lot more inspiration than he lets me know, especially with the toy photography aspect of things. And he's just a genuinely nice person, and he's got a lot of good stuff going on. So we'll see him next week. But until then, guys, you guys have an amazing night. I can't wait to see you also very, very soon. Have a kick-ass one.